to the February 17th Community Redevelopment Agency meeting. We'll call this meeting to order. Before we get started, is there any citizen input on anything that's not on the agenda? You can if you want to come speak.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm not so sure if this is in part to what's going on tonight, but it does have to do with what I feel is important with the redistricting that's going on in legislation. David Ballard Geddes Jr. I live on Georgia Avenue up the street in Palm Harbor. Florida has already been divided into 5 water districts. We obviously live in the Swift Mud District. Legislation is currently in Tallahassee redistricting the county in what I see as an already established water district. In actuality, what legislation is doing is not redistricting the county or redistricting the cities, but they're establishing individual jurisdictions within an already established district. This district is described as it's ill-defined as a district in Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 of the U.S. Constitution as a district not exceeding 10 miles square. That, in my definition, underneath the parameters of the 10 miles square clause is a jurisdiction and not a district. I feel the county is attempting to shapeshift itself from its fortnighted county, city governments into a politically laundered water jurisdiction. And I was wanting to know if anyone feels as though this type of behavior is legislatively warranted. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Anybody else? Okay. We'll move on to the minutes. We have the draft minutes of September 16th, November 4th, and November 30th of the CRA. Any changes? Okay, can I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Franny and Vice Mayor Kynes. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. And then we have the Community Redevelopment Agency Advisory Committee continuance. Staff is recommending a 3-year continuance to this. Bob, did you have anything to add?
Just briefly, Mayor, Bob Ironsmith, Economic Development Director for the City of Dunedin. This is something required per Ordinance 92-1, which basically says to continue the CRA advisory, to look at, to continuing it every 3 years. We have a lot of work to do coming up, obviously. Skinner Boulevard is a key one. The property that was recently purchased, additional parking downtown, streetscape, crosswalks. So I certainly, staff recommends to continue the committee.
Okay, anything to add, Jen? All right. Can I have a motion to continue?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Vice Mayor Kynes, Commissioner Franny, thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. And then we have the Community Redevelopment Agency Advisory Committee membership vacancy. Staff is recommending June Kovac for a 3-year regular term as the resident representative. She does live in the district itself. Are there any other nominations? Seeing or hearing none, can I have a motion to approve this recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
Vice Mayor and Commissioner Kynes. Vice Mayor Kynes and Commissioner Franny, thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you, Mayor. And we have June Kovac is here. She's been involved and really engaged in the city.
Welcome.
So she's also been on the Library Advisory Committee, yes, in the past. So June is just very active in the city, and we're looking forward to having her participation on the committee as a resident. So.
Well, great. Thank you so much and appreciate your willingness to do it.
I'm honored to be considered. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, the next item is the reappointment of different members that are already on the committee. Patty Coleman, Wendy Barmore, John Freeborn, and Sylvia Tazikis. Staff is recommending to reappoint these members accordingly. Can I have a motion to appoint?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Franny and Vice Mayor Kynes, thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Now we have the Community Redevelopment Agency Advisory Committee Chair Report. Welcome, Jen.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and City staff. I'm Jen Welch, the Chair of the CRA Advisory Committee. I'm here to review some details of our last meeting, which was held on February 2nd. The first item, of course, of business is always to approve our minutes, which we did. We approved the minutes on November 1st. Next came the chair report. A few highlights from that. There was a motion to move the continuance letter discussion to March, and that motion passed unanimously. We also moved up Peter Kreitzinger from alternate to member. He was replacing Jim Graham, who you guys probably heard retired, right? Finally, we did our annual officer rotation, or what am I trying to say? Annual officer.
Appointments.
Yes. Gregory Brady is going to take over as chair. John Freeborn is going to come back as vice chair, and we cleared that. That was the right amount of time for him to come back in that role. And Renee Johnson has agreed to stay on as secretary, which is great. She's done a wonderful job for us. So those are our new officers. After that, we had the presentations. Jory Peterson joined us and talked about some upcoming special events. Also welcomed new employee Danielle Teal. The Marinova Inn is going to be adding 5 guest rooms. We heard a little bit about that. The owner wasn't able to make it, but he passed along that information. They're going to be adding 5 rooms, but all the parking and zoning requirements are met per George, so that's good. Andy Pulse, am I saying that right? House of Beer came. Initially, Andy was coming to discuss a conditional use permit, but at the last minute, the agenda item was changed, and he came simply to discuss plans for a new 2-story building there. I'm sure you guys will be hearing more about this, but basically, it's going to have some covered guest seating, some storage, additional restrooms, and he mentioned that part of the design was going to be some concrete walls that would help with additional sound insulation. The meeting was, I would say, quite heavily attended. We had quite a few people come out for public input. We can kind of summarize some of their feedback, and then you can refer to your minutes for the details on that. I understand that's still kind of being worked through, some concerns the community had, so we'll let you get an update on that from staff. And that was kind of the biggest part of the meeting. Then, of course, we went on to the director's report. Bob shared with us that the Sterling Hotel is not going to be moving forward at this point. Ava will return to Dunedin in April or May of this year, and the Baycare Meese Materials Building is going to begin this summer. So that'll provide some additional and much-needed parking. Finally, we had some reports from our ex officio members. Jackie mentioned about some new murals that are getting started in Pioneer Park. That's pretty exciting. Stephanie Joins mentioned, and I hope I say this name right, Antonella Nakfor, is that right? Is the new director for the PRAC, Public Relations, and she is going to be doing a weekly e-newsletter, which I've already been seeing that, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's been happening, that's great. And finally, during our public input at the end of the meeting, Alan McHale came and spoke to us regarding that he would like the committee to consider that the Scottish American Society cannot do business when there are road closures, so to kind of reconsider that, just that impact on their business and their operations, that when those road closures occur, it makes it difficult for them to operate. And with that, we adjourned at 5:30. Any questions?
You guys have any questions or feedback for?
Well, I think maybe, Bob, I think it's appropriate that staff, I'd like to hear a little bit more about some of the comments on the HOB. I did read it.
Yeah, I really need to defer a little bit to Community Development Director George Kennedy is very much involved with the House of Beer. I know that from that meeting that when Andy was there, he's looking to see how he can make some changes to help buffer some various impacts that are out there. Obviously, parking, music, event, that type of thing. So it was pretty much, people gave feedback. There was definitely people there that are very concerned about the impact that happens with the events that were out there, and they voiced that. And it was a little bit of a cathartic type meeting relative to each side, kind of sharing different thoughts. And I believe at this point in time that House of Beers is trying to work with the city, with the community development department there to try to put together some things. So that's what I know at this point in time.
Jennifer?
So to give you an update, then, there were, I believe, 8 or 9 notices of violation issued to House of Beer. During the intervening period, they have mitigated 5 of those. 4 are still notices that they're still violations. My understanding is they're going to clear those up in the next couple of days, but regardless, they have been scheduled for a code enforcement board meeting. And they need to go before the code enforcement board. They'll take action, whether it's to give them more time or to start issuing fines.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? No? No? Okay. Thank you, and thank you for your service this past year.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it, yay.
Not going anywhere, I'm still on the committee. So.
Good
Thank you
job,
so
Jen.
much.
Good job.
Jen, your assistant didn't want to say add anything, or?
Yeah.
No way. That's a no way.
man. I'm out of here.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, Everly.
Bye-bye.
All right, now we have the Resolution 2201 of the City Commission providing for the Community Redevelopment Agency to expend funds for various improvements to the Mies Materials property. Nikki, are you able to read that?
I am.
Okay.
Resolution 22-01, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Dunedin, Florida, as the governing body of the City of Dunedin Community Redevelopment Agency, authorizing the expenditure of agency funds to pay for the clearance and improvement of certain real property located in the downtown Community Redevelopment District to serve as public parking, in furtherance of the redevelopment objectives set forth in the CRA Downtown Master Plan 2033, and providing for an effective date. Mayor and Commissioners, this has been a reading of Resolution 2201 by title only.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Vice Mayor Kynes and Commissioner Franny, thank you. Bob?
Yeah, as Nikki mentioned, this is really to be put in place because the time period for this lease can run past where the CRA sunsets in 2033. So this is the reason that we wanted to put in kind of a, for lack of a better term, intergovernmental between the two, City Commission and the CRA. And this, of course, is in conjunction with us starting those improvements out there in the summer with the creating additional parking spaces on the east end of downtown at the Mies Materials. And again, just want to go ahead and thank Paycare, Mies Hospital, for working with us. Another instance, they continue to do it over the years. I've worked with them really for the last 25 years. I've been here 26 years, and they've always been a great partner. And also thank you to the engineering department for doing the design. And what we're waiting for now is some structural analysis of some retaining stem walls around the perimeter of the building to make sure that they can handle what's needed out there with the improvement.
Okay, any questions for Bob?
No?
You know, well, I did. Asbestos mitigation, it's a 1960s building, probably, right?
Yes, and we have had the building inspected with asbestos in mind and have gotten a quote for the demo. But frankly, we need to update that demo. But yeah, certainly, Vice Mayor, that would need to be taken care of
So
as
it
part of the demolition.
It'll be a mitigation, yeah. Okay, and then, you know, Nikki brought up the radon gas. What happens with that? I'm just curious.
Gee, I really don't know. I know it was considered when facilities, Keith went out there and got the quote for the demo and all. So I know it needs to be done, you know, per standards, per permit and all of that. So
It's
I really
just an
don't know.
environmental mitigation also, if there's any,
If there is that there contained, yeah.
Mayor? Typically, in that situation, when a building's going to be demoed, if there is asbestos or radon gas, then the cost of mitigating for that is included in the demolition cost.
286, 287,
Right.
right?
The total project, yeah, the demo much less than
Right.
that, but yes.
Okay, well, I think it's a great opportunity.
Any other questions? Okay,
Yeah.
this is a public hearing. Anybody wishing to come forward and speak to this certainly may. Seeing or hearing none, we'll come back to the commission. Any final comments from anyone? Nope. Okay.
No, I mean, we talked about this at length. It's a great partnership, and thanks again to Baycare.
Yep.
Yeah, this is, further continuance of the deep that
Yeah.
we brought to you several years ago. Skinner, Gateway, this parking area. So this is showing pretty good progress with that vision.
Thank you.
Good job, Bob.
Roll call vote?
Commissioner Gao?
Aye.
Commissioner Twanga?
Aye.
Commissioner Franny?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Kynes?
Aye.
Mayor Burzowski?
Aye, and that motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Okay, now we have the CRA Director's Report. Bob?
Yes, Mayor, just a couple items. Obviously, Jen Welch covered a couple of them, but the Gateway, we're looking for that project hopefully to start here, really in the May time period. That's what the expectation is for the Gateway. We're still very excited about that project. In addition, the Marinova is going to add about 5 rooms there on Virginia, so we're excited about that. We continue to see strong investment in the downtown. The downtown seems to always hold up much better than other areas. I've been fielding quite a few calls from people that are looking to invest in the downtown, which is a very good signal for us. Skinner continues to move on. We got that agreement for the funding and all from DOT that was approved by the commission and also approved by DOT. So we're very excited about Skinner continuing on. We're on the schedule with that, so very happy to see that take place. All in all, the downtown is a healthy place, and you're going to continue to see investment. And I think what we need to do is continue to stay on top of it to make sure we're walkable and make sure we can handle as much parking as we can. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, who's got questions for Bob? John?
Sure.
You said that Skinner was on schedule.
Yes.
There's a couple different facets of Skinner currently now. How about the very first one?
The first one, I might defer to the city manager here, but I think we said the first one, the signal at the trail to make it safe. Jennifer, if I may defer to you on that one.
Sure, absolutely. It's under design right now, and that's the answer that I'm getting as far as the status. So I'll circle back with all of you and give you dates for.
That's all I
installation,
have
that
as
type of
well.
thing. Right.
That's what I was just told, like yesterday.
So it sounded like they were shooting for May.
It did. It did. I don't know.
No news is maybe good.
I think it's,
Right.
I think it's going to be before then.
I will, obviously I've been here a long period of time. DOT's been very responsive lately and been very good about following
I
through.
think they said 60 days design, and they started designing probably 30 days ago, so,
And you
so
had,
I think it's going to be soon.
and you had the secretary here, so.
Right, yeah, so
I think that would push it pretty good.
I would say more like maybe April. But who knows, it's government, you never know.
We're calling out.
Do not slam government, we're part of it. But I get it.
Bureaucratic red tape drives me insane.
Me too, me too.
Anything else, John? No? Mo?
No, not right now. I'm good.
I have a question on I'm thinking over in my mind, the configuration of the Marinova. So I'm sort of trying to figure out,
Oh.
is there a drawings or something?
We could try to find a sketch. They're looking at, it's in the back toward the,
Yeah, where
toward the Grand Street or the alleyway in the back. They're looking to elevate a little bit and have some parking underneath and then create 5 additional rooms. What I could do,
it's all on top? I mean, I understand,
Yeah.
the back is where the original people that owned it,
yes, Frank and David.
yeah, Frank and David had their kitchen underneath and then their living quarters over.
They're looking to, Vice Mayor, go to the west, expand more toward, what's that red house? I forgot the name of it, escapes me a little bit, but they're looking to go to the west a little bit.
The Wild Iris.
Thank you, yeah.
Is that where the parking is now?
Yes, so they were looking to elevate a little bit and then still have parking underneath and then create 5 rooms there. What we can do is maybe we can get the owner to come at the CRA if you'd like. Maybe we can call him, see if we can get a hold of him if you'd like.
Does that come to us? I'm sorry.
Or it might have a,
Does that come to us?
it was, I think, George Kinney would take that as site plan. I think that was below the criteria, so I think it was just an addition, so I don't think so.
I thought 5 was the trigger.
5 and
I thought-
over.
Yeah, I thought it was 5 and over, that's why I just, Sorry, I didn't mean to jump on.
No, but so, I mean,
I could pull a sketch from, probably from the file that George Kinney has and bring it to you.
Yeah, I'd
In
like
March,
to
if
Will
you
you
like.
double check that?
How many stories was that?
I think it was still just 2 stories. I think it was just 2 stories. Yeah.
That's what it is now.
Yeah, exactly,
it
yes.
is 2 stories now. I'm just trying to figure out the configuration.
We'll bring a site plan.
And maybe residential units and.
Yeah, it could be different.
And
There's a-
temporary lodging units are treated differently.
Yeah.
Yes.
To come before us, you know what I'm
That's why
saying?
I'm not going to commit to yes or no.
Right, that's why I said we just check it out. My guess is it's probably treated differently
I believe so, based on size, how much property, yes.
because somebody's not permanently living there.
Correct.
Right.
But I agree, I'd like to see what it looks like. Just,
Yeah, if
you know,
nothing else,
whether we
send
have,
us a
you know,
sketch.
Okay, we'll look in March, which is coming up soon. We'll bring a site plan, and perhaps we can get the owner here, too.
Sure. Any other questions?
One other, where are we on the crosswalks? The Douglas crosswalks?
You're looking at my notes.
Yeah.
You are stealing my questions.
I am not. I couldn't even see that.
Well, I couldn't see that without my glasses
Yeah.
either, so.
We're looking to finish up the plans and specs, and we're hoping to get that thing started really this year, so that's where we are with that one. Remember, it got enlarged.
Yeah, it's been
from-
over a year and a half. That's why
it's
we're asking.
February, Bob.
Yeah, it was supposed to be February.
I know, there's a lot of things with inflation and COVID, but yeah, now that we moved it to 2 crosswalks too, so there's some things that need to be done. So I'll give you a more update. We'll talk to the consultant in March, but I'd like to get that going for sure.
Yeah, we definitely need an update on that. That was definitely on my list.
Okay.
It was number 1 on my list, actually, because we had to cross it this
Right.
weekend.
Right.
And it was the
The
first thing I
memorial thing.
thought of it, we had to go to a service, a memorial service, and we were trying to cross it on a Saturday, and it was like, okay, people backing out and people pulling around and trucks and.
Hopefully it's not on your list, Mayor. An update on the Mosaic walls at Pioneer?
It is on my list. You just checked it
No,
off.
Nicole is handling that one.
Actually, Bob, if you will,
Thank you.
I just had my one-on-one with Nicole, and we went over this. And so it's going to be starting in the beginning of March. The artist will be here. She'll be doing the mosaic so people can watch. There's some work that the city needs to do in the intervening period. And our public services guys are really coming up to the plate as well as helping with some of the surrounding area, the plaster, or whatever the technical name is that has to go in there. But it's on its way very shortly, next couple weeks.
Thank you.
Could you make sure you have those technical names next time? No.
You know, though,
Another
in
cup
the
of coffee.
minutes, it did say the northeast sector, that they didn't go ahead and do the northeast sector because of funding? That's what I read in
That's
here.
right, yes.
True or false?
True. Because of, funding, I think the discussion was adding additional mosaics, and the funding was not there in public art or CRA.
Well,
actually.
it wasn't just funding, it was, let's see how it looks, so it's
Right.
not over mosaic.
Right.
You know,
Well, I mean, I just read that
Yes.
in my minutes, so I
Yeah.
was just wondering.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah, we don't want to over mosaic.
yeah.
That's
And-
not on your,
Technically.
is
That's
that
a
on
word.
your
No, I think
list?
Yeah, just,
The tile was, but no, not the north whatever wall, no.
This
And
is-
maybe the north whatever wall can be something different besides mosaic. It can still be artistic, but
But either way, I think we wait till it's done and see what, I'm just watching the grass, Bob.
I
I'm
understand.
watching the grass.
Just-
Just with a lot of extra
Just as,
brick
how's it holding
pavers.
up, by the way?
Well, it looked a little,
Yeah.
it looks shakier today than I've seen it. It would seem to be holding up. It looks shakier today. And when you have the extras, I don't want to call it cement, what's it called?
concrete banding, the banding?
Damp concrete.
Stamp
Yeah,
concrete.
stamp concrete.
Yeah.
When you have all that, and then you have crappy grass, that's not going to be good. But anyway, it looks shakier today than it has. It's been holding up, but,
It did, and I think that, when you look around the city, everybody's grass is a little brown at this point. We're deep into the dry season, although it hasn't been that dry, but it does look pretty.
Given with the dry season and the activity, I think it looks great.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
it's pretty
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just wanted to mention as a prelude, we're coming to you in March, but the CRA financially is definitely challenged here this year and outlying years, and we're going to show that to you. So just a little prelude on that one. It's pretty easy. $4 million for the property, 2.5 for Skinner, 2.5 maybe toward a parking garage. You got $9 million. You got debt service of $1.2 million. You're bringing in about 1.8, 1.7, and you got $400,000 or more in operating costs, personnel, and parking leases. So you can see it's creating a pretty severe deficit in some outlying years. So you're going to see some of that. We're trying to see what we can do I spent an hour and a half today with Les and Ashley, and I'll be spending time with the city manager relative to see how we can get to a balanced budget, frankly. So,
Well, June's on your advisory now, so she'll take care of some of that.
there you go.
There you go, June.
But,
You got your mission now.
Yeah.
Find him some money.
Yeah.
but yeah, the $9 million of debt is a lot, so, I wanted to mention that, so, yeah.
Okay, what about the sidewalk at Casatina's? When is that?
Yeah,
gonna
we're
start?
working out, we're finishing up plans, supposed to have the end of the month, 60% plans. We're looking at going ahead and getting a wider at-grade sidewalk. We're also looking to see if we can create a little bit of outdoor seating
Right.
out there. So that one is on schedule. We hope to break ground on that one in the summer. That's the
Summer.
goal.
Can I tag on to that?
Yeah.
And I've said it before, but I'll say it 10 million times. Any kind of electrical undergrounding or things that will make sense for lighting, we're going to do as we do those, do pavers.
Yeah, we're looking at what we can do with the landscaping in there and how we can do some illumination in there. So, yeah, we'll certainly see how we can.
I'm just
contain that.
talking about undergrounding because,
Okay.
underground wires versus kind of the same thing as what we talked about with Duke, right?
Oh, yeah.
We want it to look pretty. I mean, I know that in the park, we've got the big boxes up on the tree, which it's hard for me to imagine, and I know that wasn't your project, but that we couldn't maybe have done something a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So as we redo those sidewalks, it's absolutely a passion of mine that we think about that, and we make sure we're doing the most aesthetic planning for lighting. And
Certainly.
so, okay.
And if I-
Lighting needs to be a
So we don't tear it up again when we figure out, oh, we should be doing this kind of underground.
Well, I'm hoping to do some lighting in conjunction with the project, frankly. too.
If I can jump into this same conversation, I mentioned.
Well, I kind of jumped into yours, so, yeah,
That's
take
all
it
right.
back. Yeah, thanks.
Sorry. At the discussion with Duke, I had mentioned that, these, as you know, Bob, because you've, quietly had concerns about the light poles that we have in downtown and that they're, not as sturdy as you'd like to see them be because of what they're made of, but that Duke has sort of dictated what we've had to have. And we have talked a number of times of wanting those kind of light poles that you can hang flowers on that we saw in Canada, or the prettier one. Or
Yeah, I
just
wonder whose
prettier
passion
ones.
that is.
But also, but also, what's coming, and that's the smart light poles where, where there is capacity on them to have little Wi-Fi nodules and that type of thing. And so I think if you're looking at lighting, I would think we need to talk to Duke right away in these negotiations about what kind of things we want to see.
So, if I may.
Yeah.
After our Tuesday meeting, Chris, who's my hero with Duke, he did a synopsis to Jorge and myself of all the to-do list. He included the things we talked about, including that. I actually made a call then, Jeff Baker and I talked, but then I called their boss to say that, I think they really stepped up. It's a good way to reset the base. We have work to do. But I think they're very committed, and I talked to Sharon, who's Jeff's boss. I think, they want to do as much as they can in this franchise to take care of some issues. Who knows what that really means and when we get down to it. But I agree with you. It's on the list. So, I think as we talk with Jorge, that's on the radar.
Yeah, and maybe we want to start, I don't know who would do that. I'm sure Bob, but maybe Michael, and I don't know who would, we probably want to define exactly what
Yeah,
kind
I
of things
agree
we're
with that.
looking for out of these light poles, because we've got an opportunity with this negotiation to get them.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
did have, may I?
Yes, please.
We did go over the presentation and all of the discussion items that you had after that presentation. And Jorge just walked in, he's on it as far as, it wouldn't be part of the franchise agreement, it might be part of a different agreement that we have with Duke, but we are working on all of those items.
And the good news is, because, as you know, with lighting, I'd been involved with staff, per you guys allowing me to do that. As a part of that, the the light poles and everything have been inventoried, what's working, what's not. So I think we have a really good,
Base
handle on
to
what,
work on.
what our zone is. So I agree. Yeah.
Another thing, Jeff Baker did send the city of Clearwater's ordinances.
Yes.
On undergrounding. And one was more, big development, but then there was more that could possibly work.
Well, and actually, our ordinance doesn't require them to underground in the public right-of-way. It requires undergrounding even for infill on the private property, the laterals, and ours is actually better than Clearwater's. At least George feels that ours takes care of it.
Okay, so, well, that's great, but, you know, it's just sort of hard to argue against undergrounding.
Yes.
I mean, in Florida.
Right. Okay, so that's the summer, and then the gateway.
Yeah, and I could certainly defer to Jennifer a little bit here, too. We both, are expecting, what we hear from Joe is that he's looking to get started, in
When?
April. Well, I don't want to be, for me, what he is conveying to us is in April, May. We're certainly want to see him meet that schedule, so, I don't know.
And his development agreement expiration?
Is June 22nd, I believe. And he knows that date. I mean, I've talked to him directly, Bob has spoken to him.
He's well aware.
And he has to come for an amendment before starting?
If he comes from an amendment, that's not a given. We haven't seen it, we've had those discussions, but we understand that the plan set is going to be submitted this week, and so we'll wait for his submittal.
Which is likely then going to have to go over that drop-dead date.
I'm not going to get to
No, I'm
that
just,
conclusion right
I'm,
now.
and I know I'm not committing you, but I'm just doing the math in my head. It's February and June. I mean, we're talking 4 months. We know what that process is
That's the
like.
franchise agreement when it comes up?
No, the development
No, no.
agreement for Gateway.
Yeah, Mayor, I've had those discussions with Mr. Kokolakis.
I don't want to be I don't want to be forced into extending it because of a change that's been known about for a long time.
That's up to Mr. Kokolakis.
I'm just saying how I feel about it.
I hear you.
Okay. 2 other things, Bob. The yellow house, it's Kevin's house next to Marinova. The yellow and white house, it's right across the street from Smokehouse and Flanagan's.
Oh, okay.
The yellow and white one.
Yeah.
Cute little one. And can you just at some point reach out to Kevin? He wants to do something with it, and I asked him over a year and a half ago to try to hurry up because it's right on Main Street.
Yeah, what's his last name?
I'm sorry. What is it? McDonald?
Connell.
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 He had a relationship with Greg Rice. I didn't have a relationship.
Ann that works on all the historical stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I've
Is-
got his phone.
Okay.
I'll
I
take
probably
it.
have it
But,
too. I just don't know where
yeah,
it is.
that's a central place, and he's done some beautiful work on it. And he thinks it may have been an old church meeting room originally. He's done some,
Where are we talking about?
like, the yellow
The
house.
white and yellow, the yellow and white house
by
right
the
next to
Marinova.
Marinova.
Oh, yes, yes, yeah.
It's
But-
just been sitting there
No,
forever.
forever, I
But
know.
it could be a really
It could be cool.
cute
Shocking.
shop, a sundries. I mean, it could be really
Could
cute.
be any number of things, yeah.
Yeah, if I
Cafe,
can, Vice Mayor,
whatever,
get the
but-
number. I don't know the man. Again, he had a
Okay, I'll
relationship
give
with
you-
Greg
I've
Rice.
got it. I'll give you
Speakeasy?
his stuff.
I'd go for that. He really wants to do something, he's just not sure what. And I think that's something you could probably help him walk through,
Sure. Sure.
And he's local, he owns a number of properties here in Dunedin.
And he's really into
Historical ones.
historic preservation.
Yeah.
Love to hear it, absolutely, yeah.
And then finally, I don't know when this was coming, but at some point or another, we were going to hear from you all about this piece of property. We know that our property is scheduled for a grand opening over there in October. And we haven't heard an update as to when we're going to start talking about this, because that's going to come soon.
That was on my list, too.
Yep.
Did you?
I can't see over there.
Yeah, I think the first part was the structural integrity of this,
Right.
right? They need to be,
We were
we
talking about
haven't
that today.
done
We
that
need
yet?
to
I
move
thought-
forward with a plan.
I thought we did that already.
No.
We did something informal.
A long time
not
ago.
formal, yeah.
Yeah, a long time ago, but we haven't done
Okay.
one recently.
Because, let me just put it this way, and this is just me, and I know it's all about money, but once we move out of here, whatever we're going to do here, I don't want this just to sit. I want it to be I would like to see it sort of be seamless to transition to whatever it's going to be.
Yeah, the other big aspect is the funding for that, too.
Right,
I will
and-
tell you that the CRA was extremely constrained on funding for this, so.
Right.
That was one of the things.
I just don't
you'll
want
see
us
it in
to
March.
lose sight of that, and I don't want this building to just sit here for the next 2 years while we figure it out.
And be neglected.
Right, yeah.
No, it's a great point. I'm glad you brought it up, because I agree. I mean, we wouldn't want it sitting here. I mean, it's already kind of an eyesore, so. How soon could we do a structural?
Probably take a couple of
Yeah, I
months.
need to do some research on that and find out, structural, it would really, it's going to be an architect, structural engineer. I would need to figure that out and come back to you with some dates.
I don't know. It's not just structural. What the heck? I don't know how somebody's going to make it look better, but even if it's structurally good, but.
Century, Mo. I mean, it's got, except for the junk that's added on, it's got some good bones.
I think that the point is, though, the downtown East End plan shows this site is vacant.
It does.
So,
But
what
we
we
have
agreed
to
to.
make
That is what we
decision.
agreed. That we
It
had a
is what we
consensus.
agreed to, but we're just going to confirm.
Right.
We're,
We're going to talk
we're
about
going
it.
to touch it again.
yes.
I was actually, after the meeting the other day, there were a couple ladies out there that were visiting from out of state, and they were admiring the tree. So I started explaining things about the tree. And then we talked about the new city hall, and then they said, oh, what's going to happen to this building? And I said, well, it's still being determined. The last thing we talked about was green space, but it could be saved. And they looked at the building and like, you're going to try to save this building? So Deborah, I'm not saying it's not, that it couldn't work, and I'm open-minded to
At
it,
one
but.
point, it was a beautiful library, Mo.
Yeah.
I know, I came here.
A lot of people love this library.
I came here with the Easter bonnet
This is where I started
parade
work
from
in
Mrs. Honnold's
1984.
school right up
Yep.
the street.
Yeah, so anyway, I mean, it'll be a robust discussion, but we do need to get it on the radar.
Well, and then we need to talk funding, and that's all a part of our strategic planning, and I just don't want us to lose sight, and I figured this is the time to
Yeah, absolutely.
bring it up, because it's in the CRA. Bob's choking over there.
Well,
Well, it can't really be put off. I mean, so
No,
it's
but
a great point that we need
No.
to, we don't want to be the one that's a derelict building on the
Exactly.
street. That would be crazy.
but if it is parks, you need parks participation for sure, so.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
not putting it all on you.
Yeah.
Bob's like, don't take any more money, I don't
I
have
already
it.
did the John R. Lawrence Park, so, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't, never mind, not saying a word. I don't want you to leave out of here being like, oh my God, what are they doing to
Well,
me?
I just know that the CRA is so constrained financially and resource, we're down a person, so that's where, obviously I'm coming from a little bit.
We'll figure it out.
Bob is gonna hate to come to CRA meetings, because we keep
Well, that's
coming
why
up
we have
with
to
He
show
doesn't have a
love.
choice.
Yeah, I know, but we're sorry, Bob. I mean, we do know you're balancing a lot of balls. and
Well, it is his job to be protective and careful and
And a
cautious
lot
of
of
the money.
financial, you've done a lot of
I
financial.
just wanted to prelude that the CRA has some major financial challenges, just because of the $9 million of debt that we're looking at, that's
Yeah,
all.
I got it. Boy, I wouldn't want that debt.
Rescue money.
Yeah, well, this building really does transcend the CRA, I think, in terms of either either it's a park or adaptive reuse or whatever it is, but it's going to take way more than just Bob and I to work on that. I mean, obviously, we're going to need George, we're going to need Jorge, Paul, everybody has to be in on that. And to ultimately, put something before the city commission, a recommendation for all of you to move forward on. So that's going to take a little bit of time, but that's a very good point, Mayor, and we'll definitely start on that work effort, because right now it shows vacant in the downtown East End plan, so.
Thank you. Okay, anything else for the good of the order? All right, we will adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you for watching this City of Dunedin government meeting. If you'd like to review any part of this meeting or watch any previous government meeting coverage, you can watch these meetings online anytime through the city's website, dunedingov.com. Stay connected with everything Dunedin. Follow the city on this channel and on the city's Facebook page, through Twitter, and on the city's YouTube channel. Thanks again for watching this Dunedin television production.